Between 52 Special and the Broke Down Kardashian, I was awakened from my slumber to come back and talk about this, y'all, because it's truly a mess.
Only apply that. Get it, don't be timid when you ain't apply that. Love a bone, give along, leave it. I don't want no trip, baby, spend like
My name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related, and I am here to put you on, okay? You guys, welcome back to the channel, to all the sweet peas. Hey, I hope you're doing well. Y'all know I don't come over here and talk about this. I haven't really put my toe in to the reality TV streets for quite a while, but again, I watched 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days, season 8, and I got to come on and talk about it because it's too much not to talk about. And so you know the deal. We're going to go couple by couple and talk about these first 3 episodes and what's happened up till now. At this point, we still haven't been introduced to every single couple, but we got enough to work with here, okay? So let's start over here with Laura, who's from Washington State, and Birkan, who is from Turkey, and her best friend Michael, honey, because Michael is really her soulmate, is her one, but she refuses to give into it. I don't know if it's because of the deformity that he has going on. She's saying it's him, he's saying it's kind of her, but he's never felt more himself than when he's with Laura in her presence. Laura is on the Wattpad, honey. She likes a good, cute, steamy romance, and she writes them as well as she gives us a recitation of one of her pieces very early in the season, and it's a lot. She's a school teacher by day. She loves pickleball, and again, Michael is her person. They do everything together, all of the sports, all of the dinners, all of the brunches, all of that, okay? Now, mind you, Laura's of a certain age. I believe Laura is 48 and this young man is 28. He's in his 20s. Now, girl, we meet Birkin, I believe, really in the 3rd episode, and not for nothing, he looks like he's a part of a sinister secret organization, in my opinion. He says that he was a professional soccer player, football player, and that didn't work out. He doesn't have a relationship with his family, so his friends are his found family, his made family. You know what I mean? He says that he cannot abide the relationship that Laura has with Michael. He's not going for it. Okay. He's over it, and that she's going to have to choose ultimately. Now, I don't know if Laura truly knows what she's getting herself into, because when we first meet him, he's reading Nietzsche. Now, like I said before, she's on Wattpad. These things do not go together. I don't know if he's a nihilist or whatever, but he said he was into the darkness. He likes the darkness, but now he's searching for a little bit of light. He'd have to find the light on his own. I'm not going to Turkey to do that. Laura is allegedly torn, between this boyfriend and her, her Michael. And so as we go through, not too much in episode 2, but when we get to episode 3, she's finally flying to Turkey to meet him. And her mama goes off, clicks and goes off, and is like, I don't know what you're thinking about. I don't know what's going on, but this is not the man for you. This is not the match. And my thing is, mama, she's not a spring chicken at this point. She's 48 years old, and she should be able to live her life. Now, is this unwise? Absolutely. Should she be going after someone 20 years her junior? Probably not. But baby, this is her life. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I didn't expect them to have them heated feelings, but then also on the other side of that, Laura, you know who your mama is. You know who your mama was. And then as they drop her off at the airport, they're throwing up gang signs. Now, I know that means I love you, right? And some things, it's just the way they threw it up that threw me off and threw me for a little bit of a loop. But they seem very invested in her life. And again, she is a full grown woman. Again, he pulls up a picture for his friends, and they're like, she's old, ain't it? Like, how old is she? He says she's old enough. He likes his woman old. And he says that based on her pictures, them filters, them Snapchat filters, that she looks young for her age. And he's totally fine with that. He's always had an affinity for the elders. So we'll see what this is going to happen. I don't think this is anything that's going anywhere. Like I said, there's something about him that just doesn't sit right in my spirit. And I think Laura is truly in love with Michael. That's how I feel about them. Easing on down the road, y'all. And this is probably my favorite couple. Should it be? I don't know. But did they make me cry? In episode 3, they absolutely did. I am talking Forrest, who's from Oregon State, and Sheena, who is from the Philippines. Now, I have to be honest with you. The first couple of episodes, they refused to show Sheena. I really thought Sheena might have been a lady boy over there in the Philippines, but I was wrong. Sheena was not. Sheena is a cisgendered woman, and I believe they met in a support group many years ago. And correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if he's got the tism or she's got it or they both have it. But you can tell, they get some assistance. And we have Forrest's mom, Molly, who really is there by his side, honey. She's taking him to the grown people store to get equipped for this trip to the Philippines. But what we're finding out is that, of course, over these 7 years, they video chat. He's got cameras set up in his home so that Sheena can monitor his daily activities and they can interact. And they do. He's autistic and he has ADHD. And again, both are virgins. And his mama, I guess, is hoping that he's going to lose his virgin card, hence the grown people store. Molly is very protective of her baby. And I get it. And you can really see her wrestling with this idea of, do I want my baby to have full autonomy and independence, but I still need to be there to support him because I don't know if he can handle this on his own. Two, I think in a way kind of overstepping her boundaries here, right? And so they're planning the trip. He's going to be taking his mom and his stepfather to the Philippines with him to meet Sheena. Now, what we find out is that Sheena has been lying, has been caught in a couple of different lies. And that is that all of the money that she's been working, because Forrest is unemployed at the moment, she's been working and putting money to the side. Well, all of this said money that she's been working towards building, she's giving it to her parents. So they don't have none. Molly feels like this is a scheme set up by Todd to come back with the BS. And so she's not having it. And again, Sheena keeps lying about this. Forrest is upset. And of course, Molly is just pissed off because Forrest loves this lady. He loves Sheena. Now, upon meeting Sheena, she was very emotional. She cries, she apologizes. It literally brought tears to my eyes, their meeting. It was so sweet. And it was so precious. And she takes that moment to try to apologize to Molly. And Molly's like, nope, not right now, not having it. But we know that there will be a confrontation down the road because Molly's not playing that. Molly's not playing that. Now, what I will say and offer for the future, Forrest, if you're traveling with your parents again, get them fanny packs and get them on a little bit of a leash, honey, because the way that they were spilling files and stuff all over everything, it was a lot. It was a kerfuffle. Now again, as far as the chemistry, I think they have that there. I just don't know how they make it. I don't know how they survive. I don't know what the plan is going to be. It took him 7 years to get a flight to even go to the Philippines in the first place. Again, they're adorable. But a lot of unhealthy stuff underneath the surface. If any couple can make it, I think it's them. But will they? I'm not sure. I don't know if he's got the finances to be able to sustain this long term in a long distance manner, or what it would take to actually move Sheena to the States if that's their plan, or how Molly would feel if he inevitably would end up there in the Philippines. How would that work? But anyway, that is Sheena and Run Forest Run. And also, TLC, y'all kind of ought to be ashamed of yourself because why are y'all giving him that same clip and that edit when we're introduced to him? Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. But I adore, they're my favorites. Anyway, easing on down the road, we've got the bootleg Kardashian, honey, Emma from California and Ziad from Morocco. And here's my thing with this couple. What I need y'all to stop doing is going to these countries where they have established practices, customs, and culture and act like you don't know what time it is. Don't act like you don't know what to wear. Act like you don't know the boundaries. I don't care if Ziad sat up there and told you everything's going to be fine. You can wear what you want to wear. We hunching the first night. Baby, that doesn't mean that's what it's going to be when you get to Morocco. Does no one care about their safety or for their health? I don't know. It's a mess. But again, Emma lives with her identical twin sister, Izzy. And after all of the work that they've gotten done, you can't tell that they're twins. I didn't even know they were sisters, if I can be honest with you. Emma falls fast. We find out about her ex, Muhammad, who is another Muslim man, I believe from the same part. Yeah, he's Moroccan as well. and how that they were engaged and that situation, didn't go well. And of course, she hasn't fully disclosed everything to Ziad. Now, when she gets there, because she gets there very early, they're fighting in an abandoned lot because basically he's like, I'm not going to play with you. I'm not going to kiss your butt. No, I'm not going to be touching you and doing all of the things and getting busy with you tonight. I told you that. We actually hear a phone conversation where she says she want to see it on the first night. She want to make sure his dingling is in order. And she gets there and he's like, I know nothing of what you're talking about. And of course, he had agreed to giving her the nook and all of that. And again, my girl, I don't know what you're thinking. This is the custom. It's I don't care what he said. The country that he's in is very conservative. I don't know what she thought she was going to do. And then the barefoot walking over the cobblestones and the dirt by yourself, girl, get in this car and let's get to the destination. Again, he's not going to do the PDA. He's got a separate bedroom for her. He gifts her with a bracelet, and she thinks the accommodation, which is a riad, and the bracelet is beautiful. But he's cold. But she's going to give him some time to warm up because she didn't come there for anything. She feels like she really knows who he is. But because he won't smash, she wants to know if he has a girl. And my thing is, many times as we've gone over here to these countries in this franchise, sister, you act like you don't know. They're not in episode 3, and that's fine. Good riddance to bad rubbish. And the only other note I have for my good sis Emma is if you don't push that wig back just a couple inches, madam, please just push it back. It'll be fine. Push it back. It'll be fine. Now we have 52 Special, aka Rick, and Trisha. Now, when I first saw Rick, I knew he was a red flag. First of all, he looks like a light bright version of Strahan, okay? But outside of that, you're 52 years old, you're broke, and you've got toddlers. You've got 2 toddlers in addition to your elder children. So I know the dingling is for the streets. Now, has he taken care of himself? Does he have a nice body? Sure. But is that enough? No. And why are you preying on this young, beautiful woman from Madagascar? Trisha, it's pissing me off. Ugh. Again, he's a 52-year-old father of 5, a wig entrepreneur, and a tap dance teacher job. And we get to see his stylings. They give us the clips and the renditions of it all. And Rick he looks like he spits when he talks. It's the fact, like I said, that he's broke, and also the fact that he's of low moral character, in my opinion, based on the information that we get. Trisha and him meet, they're going strong. They have 5 days apart, right? Where she's not responding, she kind of ghosts him. But after that, they come back together. He says immediately, well, I did something in those 5 days when I didn't hear back. Because you have no self-control. A 52-year-old with toddlers and not married to nobody. A mess. Rick finally gets there in episode 2. He goes to Madagascar and we meet Trisha. Trisha is a midwife and they're both very nervous, honey, but that doesn't stop them from getting Bucky naked. Now, we know the audience are privy to the fact that he stepped out on her during this 5-day sabbatical, right? And so I'm thinking to myself, at 52 years old, he's not going to manipulate this young woman. He's going to go right here. They're going to meet and they're going to have a talk. Before we get intimate, before we exchange bodily fluids, there's something that I need to tell you, right? Right, because that's what a mature man would do. Does he do that? No, he's smashing the first night. She got her lingerie on because she's been waiting for this. And my thing is, sister, you can do better. What about that ex with money? Because Rick ain't got none. But 52 Special lays it down, and I guess she fell in love. They seemed like they were spent the next morning in the afterglow and all of the things, and that she loved it. But again, he still hasn't told her the truth. So you came and got this young lady's cookies and have not told her anything. I just think it's treacherous and diabolical. And if he'll do that upon meeting, what else is he capable of? He doesn't even have enough self-control to keep his dingling in his pants for 5 days. You know what I mean? Trisha is just enamored. And finally, we get an explanation as to what happened during those 5 days. And she says that basically it was a lot going on. Her brother had used her scooter, had gotten in an accident, had hurt someone. So they're trying to feed the person, pay the people, go to the courthouse, pay the amends to make everything right. And she was just stressed the hell out. And so she didn't have time, energy, or space to contact him. He says, "Oh, I really wish you would have admitted it." Because, of course, what every other cheater does is they're going to project. And so he immediately just knew she had slipped and fell on somebody else's dingling, right? During that time. No, it was a scooter accident. He's admitting in the confessional during this time, still not to Trisha. Yeah, yeah, I had sex up and down, up and down, up and down all day, 24/7, every position you can think of, 69 ways to the top. Just despicable. I've got no respect. I've got no respect for 52 Special. And I really hope this ends quickly and that Trisha looks in the mirror, sees her worth, and eases on down this road because, baby, he is not it. And he's not going to give her any kids. Mind you, he got 2 toddlers at home, acting like he can't give her a child if they get married. Ridiculous. Also, could he afford to sponsor her if she comes to the States? He said he broke. I guess wig sales are slow. I don't know. Easing on down the road, let's talk Aviva and Stig, the artist. Sarah Plain and Tall is fine. You know, she works in dentistry. I don't know if she's a hygienist or a dental assistant, but she met Stig online. Or no, she met him. Was she traveling or was it Instagram? I think it was the DMs. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but they meet and he apparently is this local artist in Belize, and he's that one, okay? He's got hoes twerking on a cartwheel and a handstand on the stage, and he's saying that now, you know, he can be faithful. He's looking for his one, his partner, his lifelong, and she's just happy to be chose, I guess, at this point. Now, what I will say is in the first episode, we meet Auntie, okay? We meet Auntie of Sarah Plain and Tall, and Auntie says that, listen, I had a Belizean husband, and this is how he played on my top. After 20 years, you know, he's been doing XYZ, whatever, and I got to go down there to get a divorce. And quiet as kept, I done heard about your man too. And Aviva's like, no, not mine. My Belizean man would never, would never, would never, would never. And now when you see Stig, you're going to know. And my thing is, Sarah Plain and Tall, there's no reason that you had to go all the way to Belize to find an F-boy, baby. This is a recipe for disaster. When he asked you to bring that Raggedy Panda Express 15 hours on a flight, I could tell he wasn't for you. She done spilled Panda Express all over her. And you know the panda was dry and raggedy and he wasn't going to be able to eat it. So what was the point? It was an exercise in futility, if you ask me. He's talking to his friends, and the friends is like, I give it 10% chance of working. I don't think Stig can keep it in his pants. And I don't either. He's actively performing around a lot of women. Aviva kind of gives that she can be jealous a little bit. Of course, when she arrives with the Raggedy Panda Express, she done took a whole bath in the people's airport. They meet, they kiss, a longing embrace. And of course, she got her little lingerie on. My thing is, did you touch in some water when you got there? You went to the bathroom and you changed into that red number. But did you sit in some water? I really just have this thing about street clothes on in the bed. Don't do that. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but they got it together. They hunching and hollering and doing all of the things. And he says, you know, we're going to be going to the island. They call it Temptation Island, Paradise Island, whatever. And I'm going to be performing there. And I just want to give you the heads up. Don't get jealous, whatever. Now, she's not worried about him. She feels like he is true blue. But we all know Stig been hunching. Stig has been hunching the whole time they've been dating. He might not be hunching nobody right now just because he's hunching her, but he's got no discipline, in my opinion, as far as that is concerned. But hey, I just, girl, your auntie warned you. I don't know why honestly, I don't even know why we're doing this. I don't know why we're here. I don't know why we're doing this, girl. You could pull, like I said, a F-boy off any street corner in America. You didn't have to go to Belize to do that. Easing on down the road to the last couple that we've actually been introduced to officially, and that's Lisa and Daniel. Lisa's from Pennsylvania, I believe, and Daniel is from Nigeria. Lisa is 52 and Daniel is 40, and Daniel ain't got nothing. He probably don't have anything but dingling at this point, and he's gonna put it on her. He's gonna put it on her. I know the kind, I know the type, and I know that he's going to give her everything he got with all that he has, all that he can muster up. He's gonna put it on her because listen, he sees it. He sees her coming. And Lisa, honey, Lisa's Lisa. Now, Lisa, we find out, has been married several times before. Every man that she's ever been with, she's ultimately married. And for the past several years, she was in a relationship with a woman, a lesbian relationship. Now, being that Daniel is Nigerian, he says he's very conservative in that way, and that he don't play them games. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like the fact that she was a woman. Why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do it to God? And I mean, but seemingly they're attracted. I know she's attracted to him. She wants that beefcake. And let's call a thing a thing. We've seen this several times over and over. We've seen it with Angela and Michael. We've seen it with what is it? Pretty girl Lisa. Okay. And what was his name, child? Y'all know who she was with, Soldier Boy, and all of that. It's just a repeat. But I will say this. I mean, Daniel looked like he's probably cooking with something over there. But again, it's going to devastate and ruin her life. Also, Lisa don't have no money. And my thing is, if you're going to endeavor in these international relationships, you got to have a cute coin. We find out from her daughter Faith that they're struggling financially. That all Mama Lisa's little coins that she's getting are going over to this man in Africa. She's actually borrowing funds from the bestie. The same bestie I believe was paying for their hibachi that night. I mean, it's just what I believe. She said she just spent $2,000 because he's working construction, but it don't pay nothing. And they were like, well, what was he doing before you met him? And the friend said, well, if he's using you, he's using me too. And I don't want to be used. And my thing is, why are you giving her money to support her man in another country? Also, this wig. He likes the wig, so she gonna wear her Synthetica every chance that she gets. And my thing is, push it back a little bit. Maybe cut it a little bit. I don't know. Do something. It don't have to look like that. It don't have to look like that. But Faith is devastated, and we kind of get this really kind of genuine, I think, sincere moment between Faith and Lisa, where Faith is like, I don't want to go through this again. You do this all the time, and you can kind of see, it seems like Lisa for a long time has put her relationships and her partners before her child. And although her daughter Faith is grown at this point, you can tell that the scars run deep there. And I'm really more concerned about them repairing their relationship than I am with Lisa and this Daniel man, because I know this is going nowhere fast. What do you want with her? For real. And girl, what do you want with him? What are you over here for? I thought you liked Coot Nanny. I don't understand. Now, there's two other couples that we haven't quite met yet. There is Jovan and Annalyn. Now, I just know that they've been married. We know that they've been married for a little while. And that's all we know at this point. He married her sight unseen in real life. That's all we know. As far as Elise and Joshua, they say Elise is a returning face from the 90-Day Hunt for Love. I didn't watch Hunt for Love, so they will be new to me. Hopefully, they'll be introduced in episode 4. We know this is a long season, but drop it in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on each couple, honey. Do you have a favorite couple? Let me know. But y'all, this is interesting. I think I'm going to be covering this whole season because it's a mess. Drop it in the comments if you want a live. Comment live if you want us to talk about this in a live format, because, yeah, it's a lot going on. But you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all of the things for your girl. Okay, we're so close to 10K. I could taste it. By the new year, that would be amazing. But thank y'all for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video.